I've been actually thinking of doing this stuff again, and me and my wife actually go thrift shopping a lot. So we've been getting cool things, and one of those cool things is books, are books, and I have a lot of reading to do, and why not take some time away from other activities to go ahead and just sit down with you guys and read a good book. So today I'm going to be reading a bit from Mothman's Curse. I really like the whole Mothman meme, and the legend behind it is pretty cool. Some of the tales that have been spun from that, and some of the original accounts, so I thought this book looked pretty cute. And unfortunately I do not have the hardcover. I have the soft cover, and it looks a bit different from the one that's on the screen, but we're still going to read it. It actually isn't as cartoony, the soft cover of it. It's a little bit more creepy, but I could not find a picture from Google to put on screen for that, so if you hear like a snoring sound, it's probably my dog. She's right behind me, sleeping on my recliner, so I hope you enjoy the snoozy sounds. If you can hear it, I've put a noise gate on my microphone, so hopefully you don't catch that, but if you do, then sorry. So here is the back little snippet. It says, "Welcome to the most haunted town in America. Josie may live in an eerie town, but the only strange thing she ever sees is the parade of oddball customers that comes through her family's auction house each week. But when she and her brothers discover a Polaroid camera that prints pictures of the ghost of local recluse John Goodrich, they are drawn into a mystery dating back over 100 years. A desperate spirit, cursed jewelry, natural disasters, and the horrible specter of Mothman will weave in and out of the puzzle that Josie must solve to break the curse and save her own life." So, I don't know how much exactly I'm going to read. I'm just gonna kind of feel it out because I am not a man with a plan. I'm like a wild dog chasing a car. So, here we go. When you live in the most haunted town in America, you heard most every ghost story that's ever been spun about your corner of the world. The tumble-down houses, the shadowed cemeteries, and wandering souls. Whether you believe the stories or not, you respect them, just in case. Plenty of places claim to be the most haunted, but Athens, Ohio has something those other places don't. It's in Ohio. No, I'm just kidding. Mothman. He's every bit as repulsive as he sounds. A dark, hulking figure, 7 feet tall, with ragged, brittle wings and burning red eyes. He sounds like a gentle giant. Technically, he belongs to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where dozens died when the Silver Bridge collapsed in '67. Scores of people spotted Mothman in the year before the disaster. No one knew if he was there to help or to harm. He's been called a ghost, an alien, and a monster. I've always thought sizing up the shoppers. Sharp-eyed regulars hovered around the tables of merchandise in their t-shirts and trucker hats, sussing out valuable pieces. Clusters of stooped men in overalls debated the odds of another wet spring, their work boots squeaking on the auction floor. Several dozen customers perched in plastic chairs. They hugged cardboard boxes close to their bodies with hands that were calloused and winter pale, itching to fill them with what my younger brother Fox likes to call second-hand swag. When was this book made? You can't just use the word swag and not tell me what year this book was made. Also, what kind of a name is Fox? This book was made in Indiana. So the person who wrote the book does not have the experience of a true Ohioan. How very sad. I can't tell where. Oh, it's usually on like the second or third page, isn't it? Yeah, right there. 2015. Okay. Very cool, very cool. The great Fox Fletcher himself prowled the room. I spotted an easy mark at table 3, a round, middle-aged woman in pink capris and a tennis visor. She was admiring a figurine trimmed in fake gold, a terrier with a huge bow on its head. I caught my brother's eye, tipping my chin toward the lady in pink. Fox nodded. He'd spotted her too. Time to go to work. He sidled. I've actually never heard that word before. He sidled up beside her, battling guileless green eyes. I slipped closer to listen in. You must be new in town, Fox was saying. We know most of the regulars. He nodded at the milling shoppers. By the way, I am slightly dyslexic. Undiagnosed, of course, but I mess things up, so excuse me, please, if I mess up. Also, I'm very tired, and whispering like this makes me more tired. You're a lot younger and, truthfully, a much better dresser than our usual crowd. Well, aren't you a smooth talker? She propped a hand on her hip, pressed the other hand to her blushing face. I happen to be visiting my cousin and her family, the Lesters. Oh, sure, Mr. Lester teaches at the middle school, right? I'll be starting there next fall. That's right. So are you here for the ghosts, then? Ghosts? That's why most people come to Athens. He pulled a stack of leaflets from his pocket and handed her a brochure titled Haunted Towers of Athens County. From the top of the pile, some people say the town sits right on top of a spectral vortex, a doorway for the weird. Oh, I don't really believe in ghosts. A skeptic, huh? That's okay, most people are. He held up the next brochure in the pile. That's because they only visit the touristy sites, the mental asylum, Wilson Hall, the Weeping Angel. But if you want the real story, this map has sites only the locals know about. Ghost stories that go back generations with real eyewitness sightings. The best of the best. She took the flyer and unfolded it to reveal a hand-drawn map with blocks of careful printing on a child's hand. Did you do this? What a lot of time it must have taken. I crossed my fingers and toes, knowing Fox's next lines would be a tough sell. Fox shrugged. Our dad runs this place. He says we're too young to be of much use, but money's been real tight. He shoveled his foot, drawing attention to the ragged hole in the toe of his sneakers, the hole I'd watched him put there with a pair of scissors. Fox chewed his lip a little, hung his head, let his shoulders slump just so. I love to buy one. What do you charge? Just $1, ma'am. Oh, pish. Look at all the work you went to. So creative. She pulled a $10 bill from her fanny pack. Here now, you take this and share it with your sister, all right? The world needs more young people like you. You mean scam artists? I rolled my eyes, feeling a familiar twinge of envy and awe. Still, $10 was a good start for the day. I didn't always agree with Fox's methods, but it was hard to argue with the results. That's very generous, ma'am. Thank you, Fox said. By the way, that's a good piece you're looking at. Would fetch a nice resale price. You think so? You hang around here long enough. You get an eye for things. That's real sweet of you. Thanks for the tip, young man, and the map. He flashed a smile, a deadly 1-2 punch of twin dimples and perfect teeth. It's Fox Fletcher. Happy to help, ma'am. I also happen to specialize in haunted objects. If you know anyone who's in the market. He strolled his way toward the exit, slowing down when something on table 6 caught his eye. In one quick motion, he tucked the item under his t-shirt, then whistling, he breezed on out into the chilly March morning. Fox, I murmured, the words sounding like a sigh. What are you up to now? I ducked out, too determined not to let him stray from the plan. I fell into step beside him. What did you take in there? You know it has to go back. I'll take it back. Relax, would you? How about a thank you for my flawless performance? Speaking of which, can we please redo those maps on the computer? They look like a 4-year-old drew them. It's embarrassing. That's the whole point, Josie. They generate sympathy. Sympathy earns us more money. I flipped open my notebook and slid a pencil from behind my ear. So what's our total so far? What was that? A 10 she gave you? Nope, just a 5. Uh-huh. How about the truth this time? He breathed a long, suffering sigh. I'm tired of pulling every penny we make. Just once I'd like a Snickers bar and a Saturday morning without you and your notebook. We all agreed on this. I have it in writing. Permanent marker, Fox. I don't see you in there earning anything. Not my fault. You're the best liar in the family. Fox, Josie. Our little brother Mason, a 7-year-old human wrecking ball, trottled over. He danced at Fox's other side, kicking up mud, his feet in constant motion. What's under your shirt? Did you find something good? Let's see, I want to see. What makes you think I found anything? Fox, what'd you find? You mean this? He unveiled his prize with an extra flourish. It was a Polaroid camera, decades old, dusty and dented. Nestled inside a worn leather case, the camera was a boxy, clunky thing, but it had a certain charm, a kind of techno-geek chic. And in Fox's hands, any old piece of junk suddenly seemed worthy of attention. Wow, Mason tried to grab it away. Can I take it apart? Fox settled the leather strap across his chest. No. I wrinkled my nose, pretending not to be interested. What did you want that old thing for? I like it. Besides, they won't miss it. It'll be hours before Dad gets around to table 6. By then, I'll have it back safe and sound. Say cheese, Josie. There's not even any film in. With a click and a whir, the camera spit out a white square of photo paper. The film's so old, it won't even. The square resolved into a picture of my horribly freckled face. I grabbed it and stuffed it in my back pocket, ignoring Fox's grin. Okay, we're gonna try some gentle speaking now because whispering hurts my voice for some reason, so let's do it. Can I try, Fox? Mason said. How does it work? It's an instant camera, short stuff. The picture pops out as soon as you press the button. Fox handed the camera over for Mason to inspect. Careful now. Mason examined every inch of it. Where's the view screen? Is there a memory card? Fox took the camera back. It's older than that. Cameras didn't have those things years ago. Mason's stomach rumbled out loud, sounding like a question at the end. I'm hungry. Can't we cancel the plan just for today? We haven't been to the corner store in weeks. Please, Josie. Fox started into, please? Being in charge wasn't as peachy as it sounded. Not with two kid brothers who constantly ganged up on me. I sighed. Go on then. Mason tugged on my hand. Aren't you coming, Josie? Nah, Fox said. She's afraid of old man Hicks. I am not, I lied. The crusty old man who ran the corner store hated everyone and everything. I wasn't much in the mood to get yelled at for the sake of a measly candy bar. Hold my camera. Fox thrust the case into my hands. Then he and Mason took off, running before I could protest. Get me a Hershey bar without nuts, I shouted after them. And it's not your camera. I kicked a stone and watched it skip along the gravel driveway, feeling guilty about choosing candy over my duty as plan enforcer. To put it simply, the plan involved saving up enough money to get us to the state fair in Columbus, home of the junior auctioneer's bid call competition. Our great-grandpa Henry started Fletcher Auctions. The same house, same junk, same life got passed down from generation of Fletchers to the next. Dad handled estates all over Athens County, selling the stuff people left behind when they passed away. On Saturdays, it seemed as if half the town hung around our place instead of their own perfectly good houses. Between the rubberneckers and the bargain hunters, it was harder to get a moment's peace. Enter the plan. When Mama was alive, our family would load up the car and head to the state fair every summer. Mama's apricot jam always won the first place ribbon. Dad's skill with a rifle won us armfuls of stuffed toys on the midway. My brothers and I binged on funnel cakes and cotton candy, and Mama always said that when Fox was old enough, we'd sign him up for the junior bid call competition. But then she got sick. Aunt Barb and Uncle Bill moved into the apartment above the garage to help out, and everything changed. We hadn't been to the fair since Mama died 3 years ago. Dad said it didn't feel right going without her. All I ever wanted to do was work. I missed Mama's too loud laugh and her smothering hugs, and the way she'd tuck my hair behind my ear and tell me my freckles were as beautiful as stars in the sky. She was fearless and fun, the roller coaster to Dad's sure, steady Ferris wheel. I knew it would make her sad that we'd stopped going to Columbus, plus Fox was turning 12 in June, old enough to compete in the fair. Maybe somehow, if we made it to the competition, she'd look down from heaven and see what her family was doing, that her family was doing okay. I didn't have any special talents, not like Fox or Dad or Mama or even Mason, who could eat a dozen hot dogs in 3 minutes flat. I wouldn't be winning any ribbons at the fair, but I could at least try to get us there. If that meant making sure we pooled every penny for the trip, then that was what I'd do. All because Fox, as you might expect, was born to be an auctioneer. Fox could sell water to a drowning man, could turn trash into a treasure map. Aside from the money we made from clueless customers, we held kids-only auctions twice a month, with items we'd scrounged and salvaged, and even a few we'd rescued from the garbage heap. Every kid within 5 miles knew that a Fox Fletcher auction was not to be missed, especially since Fox claimed that half the items were haunted. He got to practice his calling skills and earn money for the plan at the same time. I saw my brothers disappear into the corner store a quarter-mile down the road. I took the camera from its case and looked it over, tracing the lines and curves with one finger. I glanced around to see if anyone was nearby, then lifted the viewer to my eye and pressed the button, snapping a picture of the muddy pasture. As I waited for the image to sharpen, a dark, blurred shadow began to form in the center of the picture. I squinted and held the photo inches from my nose, and jumped when the shadow became a black and white image of a man staring grim-faced into the camera. He wore thick, ugly glasses and a suit with a wide tie like the kind in Grandpa's wedding photos, and he looked so sad I nearly burst into tears on the spot. I stared. The field in the photograph looked normal, its colors unchanged. Only the man, the one who shouldn't be there, lacked any trace of color. My gaze traveled from the picture to the empty field in front of me, then back to the picture again. Fox had set this up somehow, I just knew it. I gave the camera a good shake, as if to dislodge whatever gadget he'd rigged to cause the unsettling image. I saw the boys leave the store and head to my direction. When Mason spotted me, he started to run. Fox chased him, the crisp air turning their cheeks rosy, their laughter floating ahead of them on the breeze. "Are you taking pictures, Josie?" Mason mumbled. Mumble shouted when he reached me, his mouth already stuffed with jawbreakers. Fox pulled the photo from my hands. "Josie, who's this?" "Like you don't know," I said. "Some funny joke, Fox. You shouldn't be messing with stuff that's already up for sale." "What?" "I've never touched the camera before today." He took a closer look at the photo. "You're telling me you took this picture of the field and this is what came out?" Fox's usual cool exterior slipped a little. He licked his lips, even knowing what a good actor he was. I found myself believing him. "Must be a trick camera," he said. "Or maybe an old image got transposed somehow. Josie, let me see the first photo I took of you." I took it from my pocket and turned it over. There I was in full color, freckled glory. And there was the man, same stark expression, black and white from head to toe, standing right behind me. I yelped and flung the picture away. My skin felt too tight, the air too thick. "Who is he?" Mason wondered. Fox bent to pick up the fallen photo. "It has to be some kind of trick." "Now can I take it apart?" Mason said. Fox and I answered together, "No." "Try another picture, Fox," I said, handing him the camera. Maybe my voice shook a little, and maybe Fox's hands did too, but he covered it well, careful not to let Mason see. He spun a slow circle and stopped, facing our property in the distance, our house, the barn, the long, low building that served as the auction floor. The few hundred cars and trucks belonged to customers, parked in uneven rows along the muddy lot, and not a person inside. Fox raised the camera and pressed the button. A picture fell into his outstretched hand. I watched over his shoulder to see what would appear. Mason stood on his tiptoes. We held our breath. The details sharpened into focus. It was our property, all right, with one key difference. The drab figure of our mystery man, close enough to count the smudges on his glasses. I shivered. Fox kept his cool, though only just. "Josie, how much money do we have?" "Saved." I checked my notebook. $87.22, minus whatever you just spent on candy. "We have to buy this camera." Okay, so yeah, I kind of forgot exactly how taxing, I guess, whispering and talking like that really is on my voice. I haven't done it in a while, so yeah, we're just gonna do the first chapter of this book, and if y'all like it, then we can do another chapter. I'd like to know if you like this whispery voice better, or the kind of gruff, soft speaking voice that I have. The soft speaking voice is a little bit easier to do. I just don't know how good it sounds. But yeah, let me know which one you like better. And if you are interested, we can continue this before I'm like, well, it's not interesting. I won't do it again, but yeah, at least one or two more chapters, I think. I will just default to, I guess. It's just one or two more chapters. But yeah. So if you liked this, if you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe and comment. If you like the whispery or the soft-spoken voice better, and hopefully